Hey guys, it's me, Talia Risa Gibson. You can call me Tag for short, and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Today, guys, I am getting ready to go to the gym. It's been an interesting day. Like, I could feel myself just not having a lot of energy today and all of that. And it's one of the ways that I know that it's getting close to that time of the month. Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about just how I've been feeling and what's been going on and things like that. So that way I kind of step away from the vlog a little bit. I want to make sure I kind of switch it up here and there and add some things in and all of that. But anyway, so I have really been trying to focus on health. Like, the main thing for me is figuring out what's going on with my shoulder. And the thing about it is, I am not a doctor. So it's frustrating because I've been to several doctors in different lanes who say that they see something, but it's nothing that should be giving me like the issue that I'm having. But just to explain a little bit, back in 2019, I think I was home for like the holiday because it was around December. I remember waking up from sleeping at my parents' house, and I thought maybe I had slept on my shoulder wrong because the back of my shoulder was just like bothering me. And then I thought maybe I had worked out too much prior to that, because before I went home during that time, I was going to the gym and I would use that row machine a lot. And it's where you are sitting down and you have your arms like this and you're rowing, like almost like you're on a canoe. And so I'm like, maybe I pulled something or irritated my shoulder, or I slept on it wrong, or whatever it might be. So then January of 2020, I was still feeling it. It wasn't going away. And then I had a car accident at the end of January. Like, my car was totaled. I got hit when I was making a left turn. The driver ran the light and hit my car. And that was a whole other story, because it took like 2.5 years to get that case settled. And thankfully it ended up in my favor at the end, but it just took forever for the person to take accountability and was trying to like not take accountability. But anyway, so I wish that would not have happened, because I feel like now when I talk to doctors, they ask me like, have you been in a car accident, or have you experienced any trauma to your shoulder? And I have to tell them that story, but I always tell them, but I started having the issue before that. That just happened in all of it, but my shoulder had been bothering me before that. I even remember when I had physical therapy for my back and neck after the car wreck, and I told them my shoulder was bothering me, and they were even working on my shoulder and all of that, and basically like said that wasn't really their area, and they weren't sure what was still causing that and all of that. So just I don't know, in conversation with my gynecologist, which is not a shoulder doctor at all, she was like, well, why don't I arrange for you to get an MRI on your shoulder? So she's the one that sent me to get an MRI on my shoulder, and they found a small cyst and fluid and like signs of like bursitis. So she referred me to a orthopedic doctor, but the issue was my insurance at that time was not a PPO. It was an HMO. Is that correct? Anyway, the kind that you don't want to have, because you have to go through everything through a primary care doctor. And I really didn't have a primary care doctor at the time, because I felt like I would tell my gynecologist about anything, and she was kind of like my primary care doctor in a way. So I didn't have one, but I had to go get a primary care doctor, and then I had to tell her the situation, and then she put me on a different path. So she sent me to physical therapy. And the physical therapy was like 4 or 5 weeks long. I went like 2 days per week, 2 or 3 days. I think it might have been 3 days per week for 5 weeks. And honestly, it made me feel worse, because now my back starts to bother me more, when really it was isolated to just my shoulder. But anyway, so then from there, my primary care doctor sent me to a pain specialist, and he did before that, she did injections in my back. The focus became on my back. So her theory, my primary care doctor, was that my back was causing referred pain to my shoulder because my back was so tight. So she did some they called trigger point injections. I had to put lidocaine on my back and numb my back. And then she did these injections, and then sent me to a pain specialist when that didn't work. So then he did like 2 injections here using almost like a x-ray or ultrasound, so he could see it as he was doing it, and that did nothing really. So then from there, I was like, I need to get back on the track where my gynecologist had referred me to the orthopedic doctor. So by that time, it had been like over a year, and my insurance, I changed it to PPO so that I can make decisions on where I go and all that. So I made an appointment with the doctor. He saw my referral, and he was like, this is like an old referral. Why didn't you come right away? And I had to tell him that I had to go through this whole route of going through the primary care doctor, and then she recommended differently, and then all of this. So then he didn't really even examine me very much. He had me lift up my arm. And the thing is, I have pretty good range of motion. That's not the issue. The issue is there's like a tightness and honestly throbbing all through here, like my back scapula, like here, all the way around. Even touching is real sensitive to touch. And so, I've never said that I had an issue with motion or movement. There's just something going on. And obviously, when I told my gynecologist, the MRI showed some fluid and a small cyst. So maybe that's actually what's causing the issue. But the doctors got way off track. So then 2023, I go back to that orthopedic doctor. He sends me to my gynecologist sent me to a rheumatologist, because she was like, maybe it's just like pain that's occurring, and maybe he needs to see. And then she ran some blood tests, and there was something that showed a little bit positive, but the other test showed negative. So she wasn't really sure. So she sent me to the rheumatologist to make sure I didn't have lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, which that rheumatologist said that I didn't have any of those things. I know this is a whole lot within these minutes, but I'm trying to not make this a long video. But I'm just telling you guys what's been going on and what I've been trying to deal with, and why I haven't wanted to do mukbangs, because I've just been trying to figure all this out. Plus work, travel for work, and all of this, and then try to make doctor's appointments in between. And mind you, this started before I even took this job. I was still working as a school district level instructional coach at an elementary school when this started in 2019. And it's now 2024, and we still haven't figured it out. So I don't know if it's referring pain from somewhere else in my body. I don't know what it is, but it is very much so in an isolated area for the most part. And every so often I'll get the shooting up across my back and then a little bit on the right side. But I'm trying to figure out what it is, because honestly, and this is a good thing, like when they run my blood work and things like that, like I have my blood work is good. The only thing in my blood work was my iron was a little bit low. So she just told me to supplement with just supplement my iron, which explains why like I would get cold so easily. So I was slightly close to being anemic. But other than that, like my B12 was too high because I was taking a B12 liquid supplement, and she was just like, don't take that as much because you're like, you have more than you need in your body. But, and then I think vitamin D, but she was saying a lot of Black and brown people typically can be lower in that area. We need to spend more time in the sun, but also because of our skin and things like that, we just can end up being deficient in vitamin D. So just eating foods that help with that, and then if needed, supplement, and then just making sure you get more sunlight and things like that. So other than that, like my health has been really good. So they're running these tests and they're like, everything looks good, but you do show a little bit of like bursitis, or you do, you may have some fluid. But I'm like, but it's hurting. So maybe the fluid is still there, or maybe you need to figure out how to get it out. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not a doctor. So I got like frustrated with the orthopedic doctor because he just kind of was like, almost basically saying this is out of his wheelhouse because he doesn't see any area where he can really support me or treat me, and he wasn't going to recommend surgery. And I'm like, I don't want surgery. I'm like, I like that the results are coming back pretty good, but you're not getting to the issue. And I feel like every single doctor except for the gynecologist was ignoring the original MRI, which said that I had a small cyst and fluid. I'm like, that's probably what was causing it. So I'm starting over with doctors. I'm starting over. So I'm looking for a new primary care physician, a new gynecologist, just because the orthopedic doctor that I went to was referred by him. And then I don't know, like, I was just like, I don't want to be on that track of doctors. Now that I moved to a different area, I'm going to look for doctors that are in the area that I'm in, and just start over. And honestly, I'm not gonna even mention the car accident, like, because I feel like it got them way off track and way off course. And they completely dismissed that I said this started a month before that car accident ever happened. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't know, I'll watch videos about people dealing with different issues with health things and how doctors can gaslight them into saying, no, you're okay, everything's okay. But you have to advocate for yourself because you know your body, you know when you don't feel like yourself. And so it's frustrating when they're saying one thing and you're like, no, I don't feel like myself, like my shoulder and my back should not feel like this. And I'm definitely not okay with just being like, oh, it's good, I can deal with it. Like, it's literally uncomfortable. I find myself sometimes, guys, I'm talking a mile per hour. I'm talking like 100 miles per hour. But I feel myself trying to massage, but it's just so sore. And then sometimes I can hear it pop. But I gotta figure out what it is. So when I tell you my focus, of course it has to be on work. But anything else, like, honestly, I have to figure that out first. And so I've been going to the gym, being mindful of eating and all of that as well. I'm trying to drop weight because I just want to see if that makes a difference at all. Because if you're telling me everything else is good, the only other thing that has changed in the last few years since I've lived here in Dallas has been my weight. And the thing about it is, like, people will say, well, you're not big. It's not even about that. I am, I think I mentioned in another video, I'm 5'5", and I kind of know where my body should be, where my body mass index should be, and all of those things. And so it can affect people in different ways, whereas weight gain on someone else may not affect them. It could affect someone in a different way. So whatever things I can eliminate. So I'm like, let me get any of the weight I did gain from, if I think about the time from 2019 or 2018 till now, if I think about any weight that I put on between those years, let me get that off and see if I feel any different. And if I don't, then I know, of course, it's not that. It's kind of like right now a process of elimination to figure out what's going on. But that's only one thing. So this might be like a part 2, because I do want to talk about the endometriosis, because I'm still dealing with that as well. And that's a whole different beast. And that's also where like the eating habits and things like that have to play a part for me. Because unfortunately, our bodies just are different, and things that other people eat, like my body may not be able to handle. And so not saying that there's some things I won't ever eat, but I just have to be more mindful of that. So like finding alternatives, like I really like the Impossible meats. I tried the Impossible sausage this week. It was the link kind. And that actually was pretty good. I cooked it in the air fryer, and it was really good. And so just kind of finding alternatives to see if backing off of meat for a while makes me feel different. Like right now, I still have been eating chicken. I definitely want to get to a point where I just fully eliminate beef from my daily diet. And when I say diet, just what I eat, not like weight loss diet, but where I eliminate and then just go from there. So that's what I've been trying to focus on, like my health, and just getting this all figured out, because it's frustrating when doctors don't listen. And some you can see some of them, their egos puff up when you tell them about your own body. And it's almost like they don't say it, but it's almost like you can feel like, how dare you? I'm the doctor. I'm like, but you don't know my body, and I'm telling you that something is off, and I don't want your pain medication. Because I know, like, even talking to my sister, we were talking about how some doctors, they assume that people are trying to get pain medication, because unfortunately there are people who try to get pain medication because they're dealing with addictions and stuff like that. I don't want your pain medication. I don't like to take pills unnecessarily. So I don't want your pain medication. I want you to figure out what's wrong and fix it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. So just pray for direction and finding the right doctors. Pray that we figure all of this out, because it's annoying. And the thing about it, it's like a uncomfortable pain. It's not a like cry, scream, excruciating pain. And it's so hard to explain, but I just have to find the doctor that will listen and will look at every part of my body to figure out what's going on. Because if it's referred pain from something else, then let's figure it out. I'm one of those people, I'm not afraid to go to the doctor. Like, even if like I were to find out some bad news about my health, I'm one of those, I want to know. Like, I want to know what's going on with my body. I'm not one of those that wants to just be like, no, I don't want to know. Like, I'd rather just live my life and hope for the best. Like, that's not me. Like, let whatever it could be, whether it's simple, whether it's something complicated, let's figure it out and then figure out a plan to get it corrected. And that's just what I think about it. And yeah, so I don't know, like if I were younger and hadn't gone through school, like stuff like this would make you almost want to go be a doctor so that you can help other people not feel like you don't listen to them. Because some of these doctors, and then I don't know, like I just had to get off of that track of doctors, because let me start over. Just let me start over. Well, guys, I appreciate you for hearing me vent and talk. Couple miles per hour, who knows? But as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification so you'll know when I post. Until next time, bye.
Have a good time. Join the fun, grab someone, wave those hands in the air if you dare. We'll have a good time, good time, good time. Join the fun, make some noise, ride that beat in your seat right there. We'll have a good time, good time.
Like,